What's going on, everybody? This is going to be an upper body follow along workout. I'm going to do my best to make this a true follow along workout, so you shouldn't have to pause the video if you guys don't want to, except for maybe in the beginning to kind of set yourself up here. Working chest, shoulders, back, and arms, 3 circuits for 3 sets with minimal rest. No extra equipment is needed. Again, as always, if you guys like this content, please like and or subscribe. For this first exercise, go ahead and put the total gym at like a middle setting. And this may not work for everybody, but I'm going to go in this kneeling position, and I'm going to be doing 20 repetitions. I'm going to try and go at this tempo, so if you're really not actually watching me doing this, you can kind of follow along with this cadence. For this first circuit, this is kind of pretty much all I'll be doing. Is this kind of cadence for 20 repetitions for both exercises, so you guys can kind of count on that. Again, find a setting that works for you. You guys may have to pause the video to get yourself set up and kind of find what's comfortable for you. If you can't get in this kneeling position, you can always kind of sit down or kind of find a position that just works for you. Otherwise, if this doesn't work, you can always just go single arm in a kind of a regular seated position. You can also do that as well. I'm pressing a little bit different. If you guys notice, I'm kind of pressing more from like a kind of a close grip press. You could press really however you want to. I was just kind of noticing it. I'm feeling it a little bit more if I kind of dig it back, kind of get a nice pre-stretch, bringing my arm back and pressing more through a neutral grip. Although you will probably see me kind of vary the press up a little bit throughout these sets in this exercise. Even right here, that looks more like a normal press. Even my grip kind of changed a little bit, and even the way I'm rotating changes a little bit. If you guys want to, you can do more of this reach with this hand and kind of reach and press. I found this for 20 was like the number I was shooting for. I actually found this to be, I don't know if it's difficult, but just a little bit more tiresome to get to 20 repetitions, especially as I will raise the incline with each set. But my point is, you don't have to do it exactly like I'm doing. You can always stop short of the actual rep goal. If I wasn't doing this follow along workout, I probably would actually be stopping short, maybe doing 10, 12, 15. I just kind of gave myself an even 20 to kind of count to for the sake of this video. But basically, do your best to whatever you can to make this press worthwhile for you as far as actually feeling it in your chest. I just made a video a couple videos ago about how to kind of really feel these chest press exercises in a number of different ways of getting the position, different hand grips and stuff like that. Now, a similar way, we're going to go right into a single arm row in this kneeling position. We're again going to be hitting 20 repetitions here. A little bit different. Again, it looks like a simple row, and there's a lot of kind of little things I'm trying to do as I'm doing this row. One thing is that since this is a single arm row, it's going to feel a little bit easy as far as easier, maybe for some people, not for everybody, but shouldn't be too hard to actually make this row. I'm trying to, again, reach and try and get a nice pre-stretch in my lats, and then I'm really trying to dig in my lats and mid-back to kind of make a nice row. I'm really trying to retract my shoulder blades. I'm even kind of twisting my hands. I'm not consciously really thinking about that. That's just kind of really happening as I'm reaching and trying to get a stretch out of my lats. The other thing you might notice me doing, maybe not so much on this set, but in other sets, I'll be kind of flaring my elbows a little bit more upwards and kind of like an upper, like more of a higher row position. I just kind of notice if I kind of get my elbows closer to my torso, it's a little bit easier. I'm using more of my lats. As you can see it right there, I'm kind of digging up a little bit higher. That's kind of what I'm doing to kind of make it a little more difficult in those upper part of muscles in my back, but really just to kind of make it a little bit more difficult into the actual row itself. And again, I'm kind of leaning in to kind of get that pre-stretch, but I'm also leaning in to kind of give myself a little bit more leverage into this row as I'm sitting up in this kind of kneeling position. But like I said with the first exercise, feel free to kind of go in a seated position, find what works for you. I can't guarantee throughout this whole workout that all these things will work out for everybody, especially in just the level of difficulty. 20 repetitions, I found this to be kind of perfect, especially for this one. Granted, like I said, after we finish this set, right now actually, you're going to see me go ahead and raise the incline a notch. This is going to be pretty much up to you. You don't have to do this, but I will say, for me at least, I can't really see what number I'm set it on, but I did notice that when I started this second set, getting to 20 was a little bit difficult. You guys will see me if you're actually looking at watching this as you're doing it. I did have to take a couple little breaks, maybe not in this set, but I believe in set 3. I believe I took maybe 1 break, but I'm trying to go nice and slow and controlled, trying to control my energy here. And again, do whatever you can if you want to just get that straight 20. Otherwise, just lower that rep range. That's it for this first circuit. Pretty much everything's going to stay the same. You can kind of look and check out the video. If there's anything that kind of pops in my head as you guys have been doing this, as I'm kind of progressing along in this first circuit, I'll chime in and let you guys know. Otherwise, I will see you at the end of this circuit and the start of circuit 2. All right, finishing up circuit 1. After this, we are going to go ahead and lower the tower down to a fairly low setting. After we're done with this, we're going to get ready to do a shoulder press for, again, about 20 repetitions. You will see me, I'll try to drink of water here in a second, but I'm not showing you my full rest period. I wasn't taking much of a rest period. You will see me kind of walk off camera a little bit in some of these next circuits, but really I'm just kind of checking the screen and make sure it's kind of set up. But point is, if you want more of a rest period, definitely pause the video. So go ahead, lower your setting on the tower, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do these seated presses, which is going to require you to sit a little bit further back on the sled. And then this is, again, kind of be dependent on the model that you have, your level of flexibility, but in order to make this work, in order to kind of make a decent press, you are going to have to get a little bit further back on the machine so you're not bottoming out. If you have a Great Flex machine, I've said that before, those machines work really well with giving you guys some extra cable slack, so it's not as big of a deal for this one. If you're a shorter person, this also might not be that big of a deal. If you're taller, you might be a little bit more difficult, but what I'm trying to do is, as much as I can, I'm leaning a little more of an angle here, but I'm trying to press, making sure that my biceps kind of go somewhat even right between my ears as I'm making this press. If you don't like this exercise, you want to skip this one, you could go ahead, throw in some of those pull-up bars, put them in the bottom, and just do an inverted press as a substitution. This is kind of weird, so I understand that this isn't the most comfortable thing. I just am more or less doing it to kind of mix it up. I just did inverted presses the last workout I did, so I'm just kind of mixing up a little bit. Then I'm going to go ahead, lie straight down on my back, as you can see here, just doing a regular pullover. Now on this one, I will change this up on circuit 2 and 3. I will just go ahead and raise the tower because this isn't too difficult. So what I end up doing here is I start doing this little modification. I'm going to extend my legs out and then come back in, just kind of do like a leg tuck in as I'm kind of bringing my legs forward into that pullover. This is kind of optional. I'll be honest, as I was doing this, knowing that I was trying to hit 20 repetitions, I think I kind of stopped short and like stopped towards like maybe rep 15. It's up to you. You can do this the whole thing. You could be more stronger than me. I kind of like, I kind of had enough. I thought it was kind of hard and just didn't want to do it, to be honest with you. So you guys can keep going if you guys want to. It's not a huge deal. It's not a big, not a huge like detriment if you want to skip this one. On set 2 of this circuit, on this exercise, I think I go into like a bridge instead. I go into like a basic glute bridge. You guys will see me do that. Notice I'm doing some pullovers. I'm also doing like some Y pullovers. You didn't really notice it there, but you will see it in a few reps where instead of pulling straight down, I'm kind of pulling more out to the side and kind of like a Y formation. Basically is kind of what I'm doing. But again, just working our back, working our lats as we're doing this pullover. So you can see there, I took a little break and didn't really, I stopped doing the whole leg extension thing. After this first set, we're going to go ahead. I believe, I'm not sure, we're going to see right now if I raise or lower it. I know I eventually do. So I do go ahead and raise it up a couple degrees, but that's up to you if you guys want to do that. Gonna grab some water here. I made a video about this, so what I throw in here, I basically throw some branched amino acids in this nectar supplement. I always link it down below if some people ask what the heck I'm sipping on. It makes you drink a lot of water, I'll tell you that with this, because it just tastes so good, but I enjoy just kind of sipping on that through my workouts. All right, so then we're going to go, and I kind of forgot what I was doing. Incline, just the regular shoulder press here. Notice my feet too. If you can, I think it feels a little better, especially now that this tower is a little bit higher up. I can take my feet and kind of raise it off the ground and kind of instead of sitting Indian leg style. That just works out if the tower is lower. Otherwise, if it's higher, you can do it this way. A good thing that I might do in the future, I know people have talked to me that they've done it, is get some cable extenders. So just kind of get get another cable and attach it to one end for exercises such as this. That would probably make a big difference. And just giving you guys a little more of an extension to kind of give you guys some more room through this exercise. I kind of wish there was some sort of option with Total Gym that'd be good. You will notice that might have been a little short of 20. Around this point in the workout, I start losing count, to be honest with you guys. So I am not good with these follow along workouts, but if you're following along with the exact rep range, hopefully that works. But 20 would be a good rep range, but you will see me kind of lose count a little bit, especially when we get to circuit 3. I totally throw it out the window and start going off of feeling. But we're starting again, set 2 of circuit 2. I'm going to go into this extension until now I do not. I think I'm going to go back into, I do a few of these, and then I will go into some glute bridges in a second. So right here, I just keep myself in a bridge position, trying to think. I wish I probably should be a little bit higher up, but since this sled's a little shorter, it's kind of hard to get to really engage myself without kind of going off the sled. But basically kind of thinking about my glutes squeezed as I'm a little bit higher there. Keep thinking about my glutes squeezed as I'm kind of doing this pullover. I've said before, the bridging is great for people who have low back pain. Also, again, if you just want to do a little something extra instead of this basic pullover, you could do that. You will see me, like I already said before, in set 3. It's probably you could do it this way too if you're watching this at a later time. Just go ahead and raise the incline just for the sake of this exercise, making it harder. But we are doing 20 repetitions more or less, probably approximately. So, being at this lower setting, if this feels kind of easy for you, if you kind of really think about engaging the lats, I think 20 repetitions, I think is going to be adequate for most people. Set 3 here, same deal. You notice I did not raise the tower, I believe, because once you start raising it a little bit higher, it gets a little more easier to kind of bottom out the machine. So I kind of left it here. And I also think this was kind of adequate just for getting 20 repetitions for this shoulder press. Once you're done with this, you will see though that I will go ahead and raise this higher for this third set of the pullovers. That's it for this circuit. I'll see you guys at the end of this circuit and the start of circuit 3. All right, we're finishing up circuit 2, getting ready to jump into circuit 3. This is just going to be an arm circuit here, working biceps and triceps. I'm going to go ahead and leave this tower setup right where it is, kind of like a moderate to high setting. I'm going to go do that lying preacher curl, or equivalent to kind of like a preacher curl you get at the gym type exercise. So I've told people this before, make sure you're kind of sitting in a position where your elbows are at the end of the sled. Actually, my wife did this and thought it kind of hurt her back, but I think that's because she was further back on the machine. Her elbows were on the pad. So kind of get your elbow just basically prior to the pads. They have some room to kind of flex, and just focus on just your biceps or essentially just your elbow is what's flexing. After you get that, notice I didn't do 20 there. I'm just going to go ahead and do some palms down, just tricep extensions. I'm not holding the neutral grip. Sometimes I'm in this position, I hold it more of a neutral grip. This time I just kind of got this pronated grip where my palms are face down. Again, I'm focusing on just my elbows, what's flexing and what's extending, trying to avoid some positioning in my shoulders. Just adjusting myself a little bit there. But again, just go off feeling in this one. You don't have to copy me exactly as far as the rep range and the setting. If you guys want to do more, do less, it's totally up to you. Now what I'm going to do is, I was going to do it this way. You will see me kind of pick and choose what I was going to do, but I felt, I'm getting a lot of pulling in that one direction. So now I kind of changed my mind, and we're going to do this other bicep exercise. This is all technically this first set. So we're actually kind of just basically doing kind of 2 exercises for each body part. So doing this bicep curl here. Again, I'm going off of feeling, and I don't know how you guys feel when you're doing this, but after I did that previous one, then jumping into this one, I was kind of definitely feeling it. So I couldn't get that many repetitions out of this second bicep exercise in this first set. So once I kind of feel like I've kind of had enough, or once you've had enough, we're going to go into lying face up. We're going to be doing tricep extensions that way. Again, I think right now I'm thinking about what I was actually planning on, and I'm forgetting, and now I'm remembering. So there you see me figuring out what I was going to do. Laying on my back, keep my elbows at my side, and doing tricep extensions right here. Again, go off feeling. You don't need a magic number in your head. Probably somewhere in the ballpark of 10 to 20, but just, stop where you feel like you've kind of had enough. I always kind of avoid saying to failure. You could probably say go to failure for some people, but I guess I don't like the idea of like going to like literal failure. So maybe failure is kind of relative, but you can maybe say that. I guess in some way I'm kind of going to a somewhat to failure whenever I'm doing these things. I'm raising up a little bit higher here, which you don't necessarily have to. I think that was an adequate setting. Checking the camera, making sure that was like a little magic trick there, a little quick editing right there. Grabbing some water, and then I'm going to start that same sequence again. So exactly the same series of exercises. So that's basically it. I probably don't need a whole lot of more explanation into this video. I'll let this video roll out. You will see at the very end, if you watch all the way to the end, what I did, at least for myself. You can see this workout took about 30 minutes. However, I did do some cellar sizer stuff on the trampoline, the mini trampoline, which again, I do love that thing. I made a video on that. I should make a whole nother video on that. I love that thing, to be honest with you. If you're looking to kind of squeeze in some sort of other physical activity, cardio, either it's my row machine or I'll do a cellar sizer, a trampoline for a bit. That's what I'll normally do. In fact, during this workout, if I didn't mention it already, I think during this sequence, you may see me kind of looking off to the side. I'm actually kind of listening to something, and I started getting kind of distracted. Very easy for me to get distracted. That's what I love about the Total Gym. That's what I love about this style of working out. You literally can kind of get lost in the time, get a great workout in, while at the same time just listening to something, watching something in the background. So that's what I love about this kind of style of fitness that I've kind of started to kind of evolve into as I've been working out at home for this I guess over a year and some change. That's it, you guys. You'll see that me jumping on the trampoline for a second at the end. I'm telling you guys that you got some room at the end. If you got some energy left in you, you could do some other physical activity, go out, do a walk, do some cardio. But that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.